So, welcome to the Bernard Alvarez webcast. We do this once a week, hopefully to empower you, give you some tools, and share some of my experience and maybe teach you something new that you may not have been using or whatnot. The intention of the webcast is always to provide you with some type of information that you can use on your own personal path of awakening, empowerment, magic, whatever you wish to call it. But today we are going to be focusing on distance healing, and I chose this particular topic because I get a lot of emails and messages from people always asking about how to help their friends or how to help a loved one. Is it possible to do? Can I do it? Can I do it? And I don't know if many of you know this, maybe you do, but I've been a certified Reiki master now for 21 years. Oh my, I had to look at the calendar, 21 years. Oh my gosh. But so I wanted to share some, at least an overview. And so what we're going to be talking about today is we are going to be discussing what distance or remote healing actually is, when to use it, how to use it, and we're actually going to be doing a how-to so you can do a distance healing with me here today. So while we're talking about that, why don't you think about someone who has either asked you for some type of healing or for someone that you know might need some physical healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing. And if you cannot think of anyone, just think about the planet. And you can do a remote healing on our planet on every level. So what is distance healing? You know, I subtitled this, Not Your Average Thoughts and Prayer. And yes, that is in jest and a little bit of sarcasm because thoughts and prayers are just not doing it these days, are they? And it's become a cliche. And I wanted us to really take a moment to observe and maybe dig into a little bit deeper the energetic value of doing remote healing and or distance healing. So what is distance healing? Distance healing is any form of healing energy where a practitioner or someone who is intending to send healing to someone is sending healing with the intent of helping a person, a place, a thing, an animal, and the outcome being some type of healing effect. So the first thing a lot of people ask me, and even I was very skeptical when I went through my training of, oh my goodness, you know, distance healing, isn't that just thoughts and prayers? You know, how does this work? You know, and the reality of it is after all these years of practicing and studying metaphysics, I'm sure many of you have been doing the same thing, studying, we understand the idea that time and space is merely an illusion. We can alter our state of consciousness to snap out of that time and space paradigm that we allow ourselves to live in our daily waking consciousness at any particular time. And during that state of that altered state of consciousness, we can easily direct energy anywhere in the planet, anywhere in the universe for that matter, just through our intention. Thoughts are energy, and I can go into the whole quantum mechanics and quantum science discoveries of this nature, but I would implore you to go ahead and research some of these things that I'm talking about as far as how quantum mechanics has shown that it's just a matter of intent and perception. I talk about it quite often. So how does it work? How does remote healing or distance healing work? And a lot of times people think of it as, you know, again, sending thoughts and prayers. You're sending the energy to the person. You're directing energy to a person. And quite honestly, the energy isn't being sent anywhere. It's not. intending the energy to be someplace. So it's not like you're sending a metaphysical email and sending it across the cosmos to land, in your friend's lap or go into their body to heal them. It's not like that at all. It's in a matter of moments, just the thought of it. Thoughts are energy. So the moment you think of it, it's happening. The moment you are, how shall we say, evoking and directing the energy through that altered state of consciousness, you've transmitted it instantly. It's instant. There is no waiting. Now, of course, I'm only going to be doing a brief overview. Yes, there is a lot of different trainings that you can do. You can do prana, you can do Reiki training. There are all different types of schools of thought when it comes to distance and remote healing. So please don't feel that what I'm covering here is the end all. By all means, there are so many more different ways, and I'm only doing a general overview with a little bit of an experiential moment for us to be able to do it together. One of the things that I find is very important to touch on when we're doing any particular type of healing, I have a lot of, I should say it's very common for a fledgling healer or someone who's just starting to do this type of work, say, oh my goodness, I just did this healing and I am wiped out. It took all my energy. If that's happening, you're doing it wrong. One of the things that must be adhered to when we are doing any type of energy healing is to understand you are not doing the healing. You are a channel for life force energy, for prana, for Reiki energy, for chi, for whatever it is. It's not you willing the healing. If you're doing that, then you're using your will. And yes, of course, you are going to drain yourself. If you're using your energy, you will drain yourself. As well, if you are willing something, you're adding all of those little ego hang-ups that you might have, and you're sending that to them as well. So if you are doing healing and you're feeling drained or wiped out afterward, you're going about it the wrong way. You're going about it the wrong way. And if anyone teaches you otherwise, that's magic, that's witchcraft, that's that's not energy healing. That's healing through will and intention. There's a big difference there. For me, we are merely channels. We alter our state of consciousness to allow our body, our vessels, to be receptive and open to allowing universal life force energy, chi energy, prana energy, again, whatever word you want to use. And we are merely the vessel for it to come through and for us to intend it toward any particular recipient. If anything, it's funny because when I do Reiki healing circles or anything like that, I always feel better afterward. You really, if you're doing it right, you could be feeling better afterward. So keep an eye out for that and check yourself and make sure that you're just allowing the energy to move through. And again, everything comes with practice. It's not like you're going to learn it overnight. And, people that are just starting off on this path, yeah, maybe they are going to feel drained because they just haven't had the practice. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. When we are doing distance healing, it's important to understand that we're becoming a part of someone's story and they are becoming a part of our story. Anytime we are interacting with any other individual, including myself, speaking to you, I am creating some type of karma. We create a ripple with every interaction we have with other human beings. And therefore, when we are doing remote healing or distance healing, one, you want to get permission from the person. If they are not available, you can go ahead and do the healing. We do have that cosmic loophole. There's always a cosmic loophole. You can do the healing, but always ask permission of their higher self. For example, actually a very good example is, let's say there is someone who is I'll give you two examples, actually, several. Let's say there's someone who's a drug addict. They're addicted to opiates, okay? And they're still having fun. They're in the, I like getting high and going out and partying with my friends and not going to work and, you know, doing things I shouldn't be doing. And they're on that path of enjoyment or whatnot. Meanwhile, they're neglecting their partner, they're losing their job, they're beginning to have health issues, and you're beginning to become concerned and want to do a healing on them. You ask them, and they're like, no, why would I want that? I'm happy. They think they're happy, right? So, of course, being the stubborn people that we can be, I'm one of them, I would do the workaround of going into an altered state, directing the energy, and allowing the higher self of that individual to take as much or as little as they want. Now, this happens it's important that we have this ethic in place because of the fact that A, it's your karma. If you're imposing your will on somebody without their permission, you're creating karma. Whether it's negative or positive, you're creating karma. We do our best not to impose our will on other people when we're performing this type of work, whether it be shamanic, healing, magical, occult, whatever, new age, whatever label you want to use. Imposing your will on other people is a no-no. That also said, it might be their path. I always say when I'm doing healing on a dying person, I cannot stop them from dying. If it is in the car, I don't want to say that like it's destiny, but if it is their path to transition out of their body at this time, let's say it was like stage 4 cancer, the healing will help them with the transition, but it may not necessarily, reverse the effects. Now, I have seen miracles, people with, who was it that we were working on about 2 decades ago? A group of us were working on someone with TB, and not TB, hepatitis C, the bad one. I don't know which one it is. The bad hepatitis, and between their diet and coming in for weekly treatment, we were doing group healing on this person. Between their diet and the group healing, we did reverse it, and he got better, and he got rid of it. So is it in their path? And who are we to say what is their path? So always check yourself when it comes to that. Again, you're merely the vessel directing the healing toward that person. Now, we're going to be doing a visualization technique. We will alter our state of consciousness, and we'll be utilizing visualization to do this particular today's healing technique. But there are many different types. One of my favorite ones, and I always giggle when I say it because it's silly, is the stuffed animal technique. You can get like a stuffed animal, and visualize that person as the stuffed animal, and you can just hold the stuffed animal and do the healing like that, utilizing that as as we call it in magic, a poppet. Think of it as a positive voodoo doll, a healing doll, or you can do and create a poppet if you're skilled in creating poppets. I'm not very crafty in that sense. As well, but you can utilizing a puppet or like a stuffed animal is one method. The other is to visualize them in your hand that you're holding. I'm trying to get my hands up high enough. You can visualize them once you've created that altered state of consciousness, you can visualize them in your hand, and the healing is coming out of your hands. And they're very small. And actually, this is a great one to use when you're doing planetary healing, visualizing you're holding the earth in your hand. So that's a great way of doing it. So there are many different methods. The one we're doing today is just one technique that I feel comfortable with and one I've been using for over 20 years now. So that's the one I'm going to be sharing today. Anyway, so by now, I hope that you've thought of somebody perhaps that you would like to do a healing on. or you know of somebody who is, oh, speaking of ethics and whatnot, a good example is someone who's incapacitated or someone who's in a coma or something like that. That would be a perfect example of a reason why you want to connect with their consciousness, their conscious higher self. Anyway, back to the how-to, because we're going to get started in just a moment. So, like I said, hopefully you have thought of someone that you would like to do some remote healing on. I'll give you a moment just to think of them, create a little psychic connection with them, and just visualize them in your mind for just a moment, just to recall their image, recall why it is that you would like to do a distance healing on them. If they've already given you permission, that's great. If not, we will be asking for their higher self to take as much or as little as it wants. As well, if you don't have anyone, by all means, when we get to the part of evoking the image of the person, just evoke the image of our planet and heal the planet. So, of course, we're going to start, and I'm going to do this along with you. Please go ahead and close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable position with your spine straight, your feet and your legs, your feet on the ground or flat on the floor beneath you, your legs uncrossed, your arms uncrossed, and your palms upward. I've been utilizing this a lot more, and I find it makes a big difference. And go ahead and close your eyes. I'd like you to take a deep breath in, feeling through your nose, filling your belly with your palms up and your legs uncrossed and your back straight. Take a deep breath in. Pause. And gently exhale. Again, taking a deep breath in, as deep as you can get. And gently exhale. One more time, taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling your belly. And exhale. Now remaining with your eyes closed, I'd like you to visualize and sense where you're sitting. Visualize your buttocks firmly on the seat or the floor. Visualize your feet flat on the ground. Sense them. And allow your energy to go down into the earth below you, grounding yourself, connecting you to Mother Earth. Visualizing streams of energy or roots or whatever method you use going down into the earth, going down through the soil, down through the magma, through the crust, and going all the way down to the Earth's core and wrapping around the Earth's core, mixing with the energy of the Earth's core. And then the energy begins to come back up through those streams of light or roots, going up through the Earth's core, through the magma, through the crust, up through the soil, up through the bottoms of your feet, and going up both legs, and connecting at your solar plexus or your belly to form one softball-sized ball of energy. Now you're connected to the earth. And now what I'd like you to do is imagine yourself growing larger, growing taller, You're growing so tall that you can look down from the ceiling into the room. You're growing through the ceiling, through the roof. You're getting larger and larger, looking down at the building that you are in. Growing larger and larger, looking down at the city that you are in. Growing larger and larger to where you can see the region that you are in. You can see the oceans or the separation of land and water. And as you get larger and larger, you're moving past the moon. You can see the entire Earth. Growing larger and larger, moving past all of the planets in the solar system. And in the distance, you can still see the Earth. Growing larger and larger out of the Milky Way galaxy. As you grow larger and larger, hundreds of galaxies move past you, working toward the edge of all known existence. You begin to see a tiny, bright stream of light above you. You recognize this as the source of all creation. And this bright, bright stream of light begins to descend down upon the top of your head. You can feel this bright source energy moving down through your crown, moving down past your third eye, filling your head with this bright, healing light of source energy. You sense the energy moving down your body, down through your chest, down through your arms. And you feel it finally connecting with that ball of energy from the earth, anchoring you to the earth, connecting you to the cosmos, and this energy just fills your body, going down through your hips, going down through your knees, going down to your legs, and just feeling that healing energy. You can sense it removing all imbalances or energy blockages you might have in your physical body. You can feel it blasting away any darkness or blockages of energy you may have in your emotional body, your mental body. And you can feel it flooding your spiritual body until you're just a glowing orb of light, being fed by source conscious light. Life force energy filling you, moving through every bone, every muscle, every thought, every lifetime, from the physical to the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. And just sense this energy moving through you for just a few moments. And allow it to create an imprint so that you may always remember how to recall the sense. Feel the connections to the earth, feeling the connections to source, life force energy, and feeling it move through your body with ease, allowing you to be a channel of this energy. And you will remember all of this to be recalled at a later date at any time you want. And now, being filled with this bright light and being a ball of light yourself, I'd like you to recall the image of your friend and begin to visualize them in your mind's eye. And now I'd like you to imagine them floating in the cosmos with you, and imagine them just outside the ball of light that you are now, just outside the bubble you are in of light. And I'd like you to connect with them emotionally and spiritually, and digging deep into their spiritual mind. I'd like you to ask permission of their highest self, their soul consciousness, their transcendent consciousness, and say in your mind, I will be providing you with healing. You may take as little or as much as you'd like. You are completely in control for the highest good of this being, for the highest good of their journey. And just kind of sense what you feel from them. And little by little, I'd like you to begin imagining them being embraced by your ball of light, allowing the light that surrounds you to begin to surround them, filling them as well through their crown, flooding their crown with light. Sense the energy moving down through their crown, filling their head, and moving down through their face, down through their spine, down through their chest. I'd like you also to imagine it going down through their belly, down through their hips, down through their feet, until they too are also filled with this bright, healing light, allowing their self, their physical body to heal, to remove all energy blockages, to restore balance to their physical body. And again, the light expands through their emotional body, their mental body, removing any imbalances, filling all corners of their consciousness with bright, healing light, restoring balance, and also onto their spiritual body. All lifetimes, this lifetime, restoring balance, filling them with bright, bright, healing light, knowing their higher selves will embrace and take all that it chooses for the highest good of this being. And just for a moment, keep that connection of allowing yourself to be the channel, filling them with light. You're only the channel. The light moves through you, filling them, allowing their orb of light to grow, knowing they will be healed as they are meant to be healed through their highest good, through their highest self, knowing that they are now filled with light. And now begin to intend to have their ball of light begin to separate from yours. And their ball of light is now separate from your ball of light, still filled with light, and the light will continue to heal and take as much as is needed. You can still feel your ball of light is separate from theirs now. and allow them to begin to fade away, going off in the distance to do their thing, allowing them to leave your consciousness, knowing the healing is done, that will be done. I'd like you now to bring your focus back to the energy moving through you, feeling your sovereign mind, your sovereign body, your sovereign space, filling it with light, healing your body, healing your mind, healing your spirit. Take a moment to feel this energy heal you and fill you. And feeling restored, feeling in balance. Bring your focus back down to the earth, back down to the place that you are at. Feel the seat beneath you. Feel your feet touching the floor. Bring your attention to the sensations you're feeling moving through your physical body. And what I'd like you to do is slowly begin to wiggle your toes as we count backwards from 3. Begin to move your fingers, 2. And open your eyes fully back in this place, 1. Feeling restored, if not a little lightheaded, but allow the energy to assimilate. You can shake out your hands to make you feel a little more grounded. Move your feet, feel the floor underneath you. And you too will continue to have the energy of healing moving through your body as intended for as long as you need to. If you still feel a little lightheaded after this, you're more than welcome to splash a little cold water on your face, drink some water. Stick your hands under some cold water is always helpful as well. Go hug a tree. But so I hope that was as good for you as it was for me, as they say. I felt great. You did it. You've done your first remote healing. Now, that was kind of long and involved, but I wanted to walk you through each of the steps that I do very slowly so you can focus on them. The more you do it, the quicker it happens. Like I said at the beginning during the healing session, that you too would remember the steps and you can remember the sensation of feeling that energy moving through you and recall it at any time. You just have to intend it and remember it. Do it a few times by just recalling the sensation, recalling the steps, walking through them. You'll get quicker, you'll become more proficient, and you can probably do this in 5-10 minutes. Do a remote healing session in 5 minutes even. I usually take about 5 minutes. But anyway, I hope that you learned something new and that you will apply some of these tools into your healing practice. And I think the most important thing to remember is that we're not sending healing, we're intending healing. It's not a matter of it going from one place to another. When we alter our state of consciousness, there is no time and space, and energy flows freely. As well, always have the philosophical and have the integrity, the philosophical ethics to not impose your will on another person. Remember to always ask their higher self for permission, and if you can, ask the physical human being, the real person in real life, for permission before you do it. And also, as well, remember there are many other different types of techniques that you can play with. I highly recommend that everybody go through some type of Reiki training. I'm sorry I don't do online Reiki training yet. I'm trying to figure out a way that I feel comfortable with that. I'm not sure how I feel about doing attunements online, but I do Reiki courses here locally on occasion. But hey, find a Reiki master. Go at least up to Reiki level 2 so you can become very proficient at distance healing, or find another method that works for you even better. We all have to find the methods that work for us. There is no right or wrong way. What is. It's just a matter of having integrity and following the universal principles and the universal laws, and you'll be fine, and you'll do fine. Anyway, so I thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you all next week. Please remember, I'm not going to be here in the middle of September. If you would like to see me live, I will be at the, what are we calling it? The Visionary Conference at Sea on September 15th through the 24th, I want to say, or 22nd. Anyway, it's spiritheartcruise.com. Please go to spiritheartcruise.com. Check it out. I will be doing a 2-hour workshop called Returning to Source Wisdom. I'll be covering some of this stuff and much, much, much more as well. Everyone that books through me will also be having a one-on, I don't want to say a one-on-one, but we'll be doing a group energy exercise as well together. Plus, we'll be on the Harmony of the Seas for a week. It'll be awesome, and we'll have plenty of time to talk and have all types of discussion on these types of topics, as well as have a good time. Anyway, so I love you guys. I thank you for watching, and please pay it forward, send healing, heal yourself, and let's keep the ripple of good energy moving forward. I love you. Bye-bye.